MacKenzie Scott reveals shocking truth behind Jeff Bezos' divorce after recent wedding. You won't believe why. 5 years ago, the world watched as Jeff Bezos and MacKenzie Scott announced the end of their 25-year marriage. What seemed like a polished, amicable split hit a far more gripping story, one of clashing dreams, private struggles, and a betrayal that rocked their carefully crafted image. Fast forward to 2025, and Jeff's lavish $50 million wedding to Lauren Sanchez in Venice has thrust their story back into the spotlight, while MacKenzie's quiet philanthropy continues to change lives. The truth behind their divorce is more shocking than anyone imagined, revealing not just a broken marriage, but to people chasing entirely different visions of the world. Let's dive into the untold story of Jeff and MacKenzie, from their early days building Amazon to the wildly different paths they've taken today. Picture this: it's the early 1990s, and two young professionals cross paths at D.E. Shaw, a high-flying financial firm on Wall Street. Jeff Bezos, a senior vice president with a knack for big ideas, catches the attention of MacKenzie Scott, a Princeton grad just starting her career as a research associate. It wasn't Jeff's title that drew her in, it was his laugh, bold enough to make the first move. MacKenzie asked him to lunch, and sparks flew. Within 3 months, they were engaged, and by 1993, they were married. Their whirlwind romance was just the beginning. In 1994, Jeff pitched a wild idea: quit his cushy job to start an online bookstore. It was a risky move with no guarantee of success, but MacKenzie didn't hesitate. She believed in his vision, and together they packed up their lives and drove. From New York to Seattle, MacKenzie behind the wheel while Jeff scribbled the business plan for what would become Amazon. But that's just where the story starts. In Seattle, their garage became the birthplace of a company that would change the world. MacKenzie wasn't just cheering from the sidelines, she was in the trenches, managing Amazon's books, handling accounting, and even negotiating freight contracts. When orders rolled in, she was there, packing boxes alongside Jeff. Her analytical mind and discipline perfectly balanced Jeff's relentless ambition, making them a formidable team. As Amazon grew from a scrappy startup to a global powerhouse, their partnership became a symbol of modern success, a couple who dreamed big and made it happen. But success came at a cost. The more Amazon soared, the more their personal lives strained under the weight of it all. And that's when the cracks began to show. As Amazon transformed into a global juggernaut, the demands on Jeff and MacKenzie grew overwhelming. Jeff was working 16-hour days, sometimes sleeping at the office, missing family dinners and milestones with their 4 children. MacKenzie, meanwhile, was juggling motherhood and her own aspirations as a writer, all while feeling increasingly sidelined. Friends close to the couple noticed the toll it took. Jeff's growing appetite for the spotlight, attending glitzy events, and diving into Hollywood with Amazon's entertainment ventures clashed with MacKenzie's preference for a quieter, family-focused life. Then came Blue Origin, Jeff's passion project to conquer space. To him, it was the next frontier. To MacKenzie, it was a distraction from their family and more pressing responsibilities on Earth. Their arguments grew frequent, each feeling unheard. Jeff's vision was about reshaping the world through innovation. MacKenzie's was about staying grounded in family and purpose. These weren't just disagreements, they were a fundamental clash of values that no amount of therapy or couples retreats could bridge. But the real bombshell was yet to come. In January 2019, the world stopped when Jeff and MacKenzie announced their divorce. The news alone was shocking, but what followed was a scandal that gripped headlines. The National Enquirer dropped a bombshell, revealing Jeff's affair with Lauren Sanchez, a former journalist and longtime friend of the couple. For 4 months, the tabloid had tracked Jeff across 5 states, racking up 40,000 miles to uncover private texts and photos that laid bare his secret relationship. For MacKenzie, the betrayal cut deep, not just because of the affair, but because Lauren was part of their social circle, making it feel like a double blow. The media frenzy was relentless, with Jeff escalating the drama by accusing the Inquirer's parent company of blackmail, claiming they threatened to release compromising photos unless he backed off. The scandal turned personal heartbreak into a global spectacle, sparking debates about privacy and power. Through it all, MacKenzie stayed silent, shielding her children and maintaining a quiet dignity that stood out in the chaos. The divorce settlement was staggering $38 billion, including 25% of their Amazon shares, making MacKenzie one of the wealthiest women alive. But what she did next would redefine her legacy. MacKenzie Scott didn't just walk away with billions, she used them to change the world. In 2019, she signed the Giving Pledge, vowing to give away at least half her fortune in her lifetime. By 2025, she donated over $19 billion to more than 2,000 organizations focusing on racial equality, education, and public health. Her approach was unlike anything philanthropy had seen before. Instead of demanding lengthy applications or strict oversight, she gave large, unrestricted grants to grassroots groups, trusting them to know best how to use the funds. Take Café Reconcile in New Orleans, a nonprofit helping at-risk youth build careers. In 2023, they received a surprise $14 million grant from MacKenzie's Yield Giving, allowing them to expand programs and transform lives. Stories like these are why she was named one of Time's 100 most influential people in philanthropy in 2025. Unlike many billionaires, MacKenzie shuns the spotlight, letting her actions speak louder than headlines. Her giving isn't just generous, it's revolutionary, empowering communities in ways that traditional philanthropy rarely does. But what about Jeff? While MacKenzie reshaped philanthropy, Jeff Bezos doubled down on his empire. As Amazon's executive chairman, with a net worth of $220.9 billion in 2025, he continued to push boundaries. His space company, Blue Origin, marked a milestone with its 13th human flight, proving his vision for space exploration was no pipe dream, but it was his personal life that stole the show in 2025. On June 27th, Jeff married Lauren Sanchez in a jaw-dropping $50 million wedding in Venice, Italy. The event was a spectacle, with 30 water taxis ferrying A-list guests and boosting Venice's tourism by an estimated $1 billion. Not everyone was impressed, though. Actress Charlize Theron called it excessive, bluntly saying, "They suck," while others, like Olivia Munn, subtly shaded the extravagance. Even Eva Longoria, a close friend of Lauren's, skipped the event, sparking speculation. Jeff also made headlines for planning to sell 25 million Amazon shares on his wedding day, a move that raised eyebrows. His life, high profile, ambitious, and unapologetic, stands in stark contrast to MacKenzie's. While she quietly gives billions, Jeff's in the spotlight, chasing new frontiers and headlines. The story of Jeff Bezos and MacKenzie Scott is one of shared dreams, fractured bonds, and wildly different destinies. Their divorce wasn't just about an affair or money, it was about two people who saw the world in fundamentally different ways. MacKenzie's journey into philanthropy shows a woman reclaiming her voice, using her wealth to uplift others without seeking fame. Jeff's path, from Blue Origin to a lavish wedding, reflects his relentless drive for innovation and visibility. 5 years after their split, their lives tell a story of contrast, one grounded in quiet impact, the other soaring in public spectacle. So, what does their story say about wealth, ambition, and purpose? Did their divorce reveal their true selves, or was it just the start of their individual legacies? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more untold stories that peel back the curtain on the world's biggest names. Post-divorce, MacKenzie Scott embarked on a transformative journey of philanthropy. In 2019, she signed the Giving Pledge, committing to donate at least half her wealth. By 2025, she had given over $19 billion to more than 2,000 organizations focusing on racial equality, education, economic mobility, and public health. Her approach, through her initiative Yield Giving, was groundbreaking. Unlike traditional philanthropists who impose strict conditions, MacKenzie provided large, unrestricted grants, trusting nonprofits to use the funds effectively. For example, in late 2023, the Rapides Foundation in Louisiana received a $14 million grant enabling expanded programs in affordable housing and workforce training. Similarly, Café Reconcile in New Orleans used a surprise grant to help at-risk youth build careers, with founder Brian Polk calling it a game changer. How MacKenzie Scott's giving is changing lives in Louisiana. Her impact was recognized globally in 2025 when she was named one of Time's 100 most influential people in philanthropy. The Center for Effective Philanthropy's 2025 report highlighted the sustained impact of her gifts, noting how they strengthen nonprofits and communities. Research shows MacKenzie Scott's large, unrestricted gifts create sustained impact. MacKenzie's philosophy trust-based, efficient, and human-centered has redefined philanthropy, empowering organizations to innovate without bureaucratic hurdles. Her quiet approach, avoiding the spotlight, underscores her focus on impact over recognition. MacKenzie's post-divorce life wasn't just about philanthropy. In 2021, she married Dan Jewett, a Seattle science teacher who shared her commitment to giving. Their low-key union ended in divorce in 2023, but it reflected her focus on shared values over appearances. MacKenzie also returned to her roots as a writer, reconnecting with her literary passion. Her ability to balance massive philanthropy with a private life is a testament to her values. Despite her wealth, she avoids the spotlight, letting her actions donating billions to causes like affordable housing and community health speak for themselves. Recent 2025 reports note her net worth dropped by $3.69 billion due to her giving. A stark contrast to Jeff's growing fortune. MacKenzie Scott $3.69 billion poorer in 2025, but the story isn't over yet. As Jeff Bezos rockets toward the stars with billion-dollar ambitions and MacKenzie Scott quietly reshapes the world one grant at a time, one question still lingers: will their legacies be defined by what they built together or what they chose to do apart? The next chapter in their story could change everything. Subscribe now to uncover what's next, exclusive insights, behind-the-scenes drama, and the unexpected turns in the lives of the world's most powerful figures. Got thoughts on ambition, legacy, and love lost? Drop a comment below. Your voice belongs in this conversation.